Go for it.
It just rocks. The all new Rock 96.7 is on. I'm T Roy, and I just flunked the field sobriety test horribly, actually. I actually thought this is one thing I was not worried about. Honestly, I was like, oh man, I got this. I can fake my way through it and everything else. And how'd I do?
I've seen worse, but I've also seen a lot better.
Right. From a sober person,
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
yeah.
So, and I'm even a couple shots behind. And I think something important to stress. Actually, before we get into that, this is
Numero ocho.
ocho, which is Spanish for ocho. All right, here we go. Number whatever. By the way, without whiskey, I wouldn't be here today. I want to mention that. It was very good. That was actually a lot smoother than the last shot was. I forgot what the hell we were talking about, but this is our last break. That was the shot number 8. Oh, I flunked I flunked the test horribly. I thought I'd do a lot better than I did. I was confident that I'd be able to fool you, even someone who's been watching me drink. And I figured after we did the field sobriety test, you'd be like, oh, no, you did great. We would never know you were drunk, and I was way off on that.
And that's a big thing you see is the overconfidence of people that have been drinking. It's that bulletproof mindset that they think, hey, I'm good to go.
Right.
Yeah, I've had a lot of drinks, but I feel good. I feel like I could do okay, and they feel like they're walking around the bar okay. But anybody who's ever been in a crowded bar, it's kind of a pinball.
Well, and you're surrounded by other drunks,
yeah.
too. I mean, it's not like you're the only one, so. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I've been drinking, I ain't gonna lie.
But, and we see it every single night here in Casper. It's the same thing. It's, people saying, I only had a couple drinks.
Right.
And then they look at it, and they've been at the bar for 4 hours. A couple drinks every hour. You've only had, 2 shots an hour. And, look how you did on the test. Imagine someone goes to the bar and just casually drinking with their buddies, getting pitchers of beer and
Right.
buying rounds for each other. And you're going to quit counting after a while. And so you're going to assume, I probably only had a beer an hour.
Right.
When you probably had 4, 5, 6.
Right.
However many it may be over a 4-hour period, it's going to start getting ugly.
Right. Well, and I think an important thing, too, is I've been drinking, I think I'm on pot number 3 right now, if I'm not mistaken, of coffee. And it hasn't helped the cause at all. I'm feeling, and just let you know, obviously my words are slurring, I'm stretching things out a little bit as I'm trying to remember what the hell I'm even talking about. But the coffee hasn't affected me at all. Water hasn't affected me at all. It hasn't helped the cause at all. Now, as far as a hangover, maybe, those are myths we won't even worry about because we're more worried about when you're out driving right after you've been drinking all night long. And I've also only been doing 2 shots an hour, and I've slacked. We're 2 shots behind.
Yeah, we're behind a little bit.
And the average person, and this is me talking from experience, but maybe 3-4 beers an hour. You're feeling good. You're out playing pool. You're with your buddies. You're picking up on some chicks, whatever else. There's no way I would pass your test whatsoever.
Yeah, at all. And it's when people get out there, even if they don't get caught driving.
Right.
What if they crash into something?
Right.
Then they're obviously going to get caught.
Right.
Because we're going to get called to a crash. We're going to see the crash, and there you are sitting behind the wheel of your car.
Right.
And, I got some facts here. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, they do studies on things like this, and they said every 45 minutes or 32 times a day, someone in the United States dies because of a DUI crash, which is just huge. New Year's Day last year, 468 people were killed in DUI crashes, and that's one day. And
Really?
Yeah, and that's New Year's Day, and here we are. New Year's Eve, and it's
Right.
going to start here soon. People are going to, get off of work early if they're not already, and start hitting it hard. And plan ahead. That's our big thing is plan ahead, be smart, make good decisions, and.
Well, and there's a lot of options for that too. Obviously, if you got a friend who doesn't drink and you don't mind calling them up, even if you do mind calling them up and bugging them,
Yeah.
it's better than driving home. But call your buddy up. 3 different cab companies: Casper Cab, Yellow Cab, and RC Cab.
RC Cab.
And then, of course, Tipsy Taxi. And Tipsy Taxi is privately funded. What would you say, 3,000 rides last year,
Yep.
around 42,000
$42,000, and that's all funded through, people tipping the cabbies. You're getting a free cab ride home.
Right.
Drop them $5 here and there.
If you can, absolutely take a couple bucks, put it in your back pockets. This is for the cab driver who takes me home at the end of the night. But that number is 234-8294, 234-8294. One more time, 234-8294. If you think that I sound fine after all these shots, I do not feel fine. Do I sound fine? I mean, I'm stretching stuff out.
You got your radio voice on now.
Do I?
As soon as the microphone goes away.
Yeah, that's when I start getting like, the filter, actually. I've been working on the filter, not cursing or nothing. I hope I haven't. Actually, I just dawned on me.
It's been staying pretty good.
Has it? Oh, thank goodness. All right. You guys have actually stopped me from calling people.
We're at about PG-13 right now, I think.
I can deal with PG-13. R is when it starts getting. NC-17, I'm fired. So
that's not the gray area anymore.
Again, Tipsy Taxi, 234-8294. As a matter of fact, before I get out of here, I'll actually post it on our website so you actually have that for yourself. If I remember, you guys got to remind me. James, I want to thank you, James, back there for helping me out, holding the camera. Of course, Officer Dan Dundas, he's going to be working at noon. And
noon to midnight tonight.
Noon to midnight. Do not make him work hard. Do not make any of these guys work hard.
I like boring nights.
And that's actually good for you guys. I mean, you don't want a lot of calls and everything else. And I mentioned this off the air, but you guys are glorified babysitters. And I'm not demeaning your position in any way, shape, or form. I hope it doesn't come off.
No, not at all.
But, you guys are a lot of the times, you're the arbitrator between, this guy and this guy or this chick.
Having to tell people who get out of control that they need to act like an adult.
Right.
If you're going to be an adult and go out and drink, at least act like it.
And Officer Dundas here, born and raised in Casper. I just want to give a little history on you, if you don't mind. Born and raised in Casper. You'd like to end your career here, if possible. Very good guy. He's been very cordial to me. Been very, very, very cool. Hopefully we can do some stuff in the future.
Absolutely.
Some tasing and lock-ins.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, don't say that. Why you got to be all smiley about it?
I think we should do it today.
No, you can be tased. James is a volunteer.
You're drunk.
To be tased, by the way.
You need to be tased.
You don't want to. I'll pee myself, and we don't want to pee myself.
Officer is getting violent.
Not that it hasn't happened in the future. I got stories about that, by the way. Ask me off mic. I'll pass that on. But I want to thank, of course, Chief Pagel and Captain Walsh, who were both. They had concerns about this, but they were very, very cool about it, and they also know that you guys. And before we end, the police officers are not bad guys. We want to stress that. You guys are just doing your job. I mean, that's all it is. Now, whether you have bad eggs or not, it happens. I mean,
any job.
Any job.
Walk of life, you're gonna
Absolutely, see that. Absolutely. But you guys are very, very cool. Please help out your police officer. If you see someone driving unsafe tonight, call 911. It's okay. You're not going to get in trouble for calling 911. Don't pull them over. Don't be that hero.
Don't be a vigilante.
Right. But make sure you give them all the information pertinent to, and remember that these guys are just looking out for the welfare of all. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Officer Dundas, have I done all right? Have you had fun today?
I have had fun.
All right, it's been a good time.
Good first radio experience.
Is it? All right. Well, hopefully we can bring you in for more. I wouldn't mind bringing you in once a week. Would you be willing to come in once a week and just hang out?
Clear that
with Chief Pagel
and Captain Walsh.
I'll do that. I might have stepped over my bounds there, but I'll do that. Good guys, both of them, by the way.
Yeah.
All of our police officers, very, very good guys. Thank you all, everybody, for listening for this long. And remember, tonight, make sure you call a cab if you've been out drinking. Plan ahead, as a matter of fact. Call a buddy, who's not going to be drinking. Say, you know what, you're going to drive me home tonight. Plan on
Flip
it.
a coin for who has to be sober.
That's right. Well, and nobody's going to want to be sober. So if nobody does it, I mean, because we've all been out with our designated driver who starts drinking. I'll be fine. Call a cab. Tipsy Taxi, 234-8294, 234-8294. Again, I will post that on our website, our Facebook, and all that wonderful stuff. And thank you very much.
No problem.
All right. Angel up after 10 o'clock. It's Y'all New Rock 96.7. It just rocks. And I'm hammered.